The following program is an independent production. The opinions, comments, and expressions of its contents does not necessarily represent the rules and policies of Doral Voice Community Radio or their sponsors.
Con Esquivel, yeah, baby, a otro nivel. I love my Doral. Con Esquivel, a ti te quiero Doral.
People getting used to that song all over the internet, all over the social media. Good afternoon, Doral. Good afternoon. This is Juan Carlos Esquivel at another level through Doral Voice. I have to translate everything. Today I have a great guest with me. Usually we're going to start getting this, as much as it gets better into the elections, I'm going to invite this gentleman more often. Pablo Carreño.
Fine by me, buddy.
Welcome. Welcome to Doral Voice.
Thank you very much.
Where have you been, bro? You've been traveling too much.
Traveling, been busy.
Busy? That's good.
Trying
Busy's
to get
good.
ready. Yeah, busy's good.
Yeah. I have been
I know you're busy. We're both losing weight. It looks like we're both busy.
I have been busy.
Nice pictures.
I lose. Oh, yeah. Nice pictures.
Nice walking.
But you know there's a problem with the signs.
What?
I must be doing something right.
They're in English.
No. They knock them down all the time. Mines.
Oh, but that's the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
They're always knocked down.
But, you know, some of them
they're
are always
standing up. Exactly.
It's something. They really think that we're that dumb?
Yeah. Well, no.
You know, yeah.
It's
This is a call to all candidates. Please have your volunteers respect democracy. Respect. I will never touch a sign or block anybody. Don't do it to me. Because it calls into the people attentions, you know, when they say, why are they blocking this guy?
Exactly.
Why are your signs are up?
Exactly.
Are not up all the time. It's something that is
clearly
I might
the
be
polls
doing.
are not favoring certain people.
That's right. Pablo Carreño, welcome to my show, bro.
Thank you for having
It's
me.
always a
It's
great
always fun.
honor to have you here.
Thank you.
We're 27 days away to election.
Till game day, as I like to call it.
Game
day.
Well,
Let me give my disclaimer. Do not mail your votes. Do not mail your votes. Do not mail your votes.
The absentee
Show
ballots. Yep.
Drop off on game day. Vote on game day.
Or you
They
can
cannot steal it if we show up.
That's
the proof
right.
is in the pudding. You
Dude.
show up, they won't steal it. You keep mailing it, that's their game.
That's the name of the game.
Show up November 8th.
November 8th.
Get in line,
Well,
take the day off.
You can actually, on the previous election, there was a drive-through setup.
Totally illegal. Should not happen.
It should not happen.
No. Get
How
off, vote. Period.
Vote
Get off, vote, take your
not-
take your ballot, even
and give it to them.
and turn it in at the elections department.
But the drive-through
that
was
day.
in the elections department.
And how did they steal the vote?
I hope not.
Mail-in ballots.
Mailing ballot. But
So-
this is something that people just drop it off.
It's a Corona special. Go the old way. Show up, vote. No need to
Oh
mail.
my God!
Show up
I love doing
and
a show
vote.
with this man. Listen, so 27 days to the election.
Yes.
They did figure it out the last time they did a parking lot. Did you see?
Yeah.
They used part of the park.
They finally did something in the park. But it's over. The election's over. Park's dead again.
Park?
Park?
After the
Park is dead again.
This is the lost park. It
It's
activated
dead.
something,
Yeah.
and then it's dead again. Is that normal? But we started to paying for the bond, $150 million. We're starting to pay for it. You know, one of the main things that they're saying on the election and the campaign is that they lower the taxes. They didn't lower no taxes.
There's no taxes being lowered.
The
Well-
values have gone up so much that
Right.
the mileage rate was dropped just a bit,
Of course.
but they got more money even
Yeah.
before.
When you have a mayoral candidate who made a whole campaign for 2 weeks regarding how much, she saved us X amount of dollars in taxes.
Really?
But it's not, yeah.
No.
It's par for the course for those people.
Ay.
Yes, sir.
So the park is still lost.
Completely lost. It's dead again.
Yeah.
Over budget. Bonds are crashing all over the market. Just turn on the TV every now and then.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
180.
That needs to be audited as soon as these people are out of office.
The last number I heard was 188 million.
Can you imagine for 1 second? A friend of mine made this comment to me.
Really?
Imagine for 1 second, had they not cheers, had they not done this disastrous bond, our police officers would be better taken care of. They wouldn't-
definitely.
But
You
know,
the witness.
it's a very good point.
Yeah.
My buddy made. I'm not going to name him, but he was actually very correct.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have gone through this, shoved this down our throats like they did. You know, the mayoral candidate was a big part of it.
Yeah.
Not to say that she was 100% pushed for it. Her family pushed for it. But there's no reason to have this bond. This needs to be audited when the new regime comes in.
What do you think they'll want us in there?
They need it audited. They need it stopped. They need it re-engineered. They need it to cost money to save
Yeah.
the dollars
We need
from
to
the
take
disaster
out-
that's coming in this city.
We
in
need
the
to
next
take
10 years.
out and review what is really not
Correct.
needed in order to drop
Correct.
the $188 million.
Remember, or don't forget that the city was incapable of managing the bond finances, and they had to outsource it
Definitely.
for X amount of millions of
Well,
dollars.
I'm
It
glad
wasn't
because-
$500,000. It was X millions of dollars that they had to outsource it.
Yep.
So that's part of the problem that they have.
Amazing.
There's no money to finish this project.
There's no. Well, they went into the reserve, $30 million.
There's still no money to finish this project.
Okay, our reserves are $45 million.
There's no money to finish this project. I don't need to be
Then
involved
the
in
new
it.
consul.
That's why the new motto would be, and I will push for it. Whoever gets in there, if you keep giving me this voice, my motto will be: we want a financial audit of the bond. We need We need to know where the money went. Enough of the games. Enough. This was shoved down our throat.
Just the bond? Or do you think they are preventing a new... they don't want to lose control of the city.
Well, that's obviously why, because you have a pension that's coming, and then you have the bond issue.
Well,
so I'm telling you, if there's anything that we can do as a group, is to, if the change that we hope and the polls show is coming,
Yeah.
we need to start getting fiscally conservative on that council. We need to get a bond audit, and you need to get rid of the pension.
Oh, you know,
Simple.
We were the first one.
items.
We were the first one that opened up that melting pot.
Of course we did. We did.
We
did the whole analysis and
pensions.
the whole, the whole math.
Now it's a big issue on the campaign trail.
it's a big issue.
Because a lot
They've
of
been
people are
exposed.
not informed.
They've been exposed.
I mean, at 90% of the people were not informed of this pension. And when you talk to the voters and the people, you knock on the door, and then you say, part of my flyer says, did you hear about the pension? The juicy lifetime guarantee pension that the council signed
Nobody knows.
unanimously to themselves,
They wouldn't know because they did this in the fly-by-night.
But let me tell you, that's going to cost them.
It will. It should cost them.
It should.
Should cost
If
all
we
the
ever,
jobs.
we call ourselves a smart city. I hope we're smart enough to figure it out. Not because of me, just because of me, is that this is unsustainable
100%.
for our city.
And we have major problems in the
I-
economic aspects of this city. We have major problems in the country.
Yep.
We have major problems all over the place. You cannot afford this pension. It's a joke.
Not even people, veterans of war, have
Correct,
this
but
type of
but here's the
pension.
thing: if you want it, great, put it up to the voters. Let's see if our city is dumb enough, as they say, to vote for this. Because if we are, then hey, I'll be quiet.
No, yeah, but,
But-
that was not the case.
But they didn't.
they did not.
And why didn't they do it? Because they almost lost. They took.
They didn't
a
even
lot
inform
of-
it.
Because in the bond, we were right there from defeating it. They had to get renters.
Yeah.
This is public information.
Yep.
They had to get renters to come out and vote to support their bond.
Yep.
Rental communities went out and supported their bond because they don't pay for it. They just rent. Screw it. Leave it
I
to
have
everybody else.
walked a lot in this election, more than what I did on 2020.
Yeah.
And when I knock on
you
doors,
have to knock on doors.
and when we did, there's a lot of people, according to the app, that doesn't live in the same address.
Of course.
So
the
the
voter
data-
rolls are a problem in
The
all over
data,
the county.
the data is not up to date.
No, voter rolls are a problem here.
And, you focus on what wins supposedly the election. The last two elections have won by votes, by mail, by
Of course.
absentee ballot. So you have to actually visit those that are absentee ballots voters. So we
rolls
went-
are a problem, Juan. The voter rolls need to be cleaned up, not in Dade County, but in Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach, the entire country.
I go one step ahead. The Miami-Dade County Election Department should not be ruled by the Miami-Dade County Commission. It should be done by the state. And the state elections done by the federal government. You cannot
the
do
state
it
elections,
yourself.
the state elections have to stay state elections. There's
Well,
state elections.
but
and
it has to be a total.
federalism.
It's
You
gotta
can't.
be.
The federal government cannot get involved. That's the issue we have right now.
The problem is you need an outside entity.
Now, the federal government has no business getting involved in state elections.
Okay.
That's the major problem we
Then
have right
we
now in
need.
the country.
Okay, what we need.
And
we
then,
need a-
what you need is you have people to enforce.
No, we need
the
people
legislative-
independently.
There's no independence. The rules are there.
I'm talking from the government of the state of Florida.
We have it. Problem is we didn't have people with courage in other places. You have the state legislator who's fully responsible for the elections of the state. They're in charge.
But I don't think it's
That's
not.
just the way it is.
It
now,
is,
if you
but
don't have
it's
people,
not
but here it
rooted.
is. If you don't have people with courage who are willing to make decisions on behalf of the country, state, or local government, as opposed to making decisions for their own personal gain,
Yep.
then you're lost.
But the Miami-Dade elections in the whole entire Miami-Dade County, the biggest voting
Correct.
center
Miami-Dade and
in
Broward.
Florida.
Correct.
Okay. No, but Miami is the biggest.
It is.
1.520.
It is. There's
1.52
We're
something.
not arguing that, for sure.
Okay. They cannot control their own elections.
Right. So then we have to get the governor to clean house.
Exactly.
But we're all
busy.
under the. Well, I don't know if we're busy. I just think that the current governor is running. Right now, he's got a hurricane he's dealing with.
Yeah.
Which,
well,
by the way,
terrible.
the guy put up 2 bridges in 2 weeks. Name me another governor in the country that could do that.
We have a Superman.
So I think it's the Charlie Chris is a non-factor. But anyway,
We call it La Planadora
exactly.
de Santis.
But when he cleaned up Broward County, I don't know if you remember, he got in first thing. So Miami-Dade has to be next. There's no doubt about it. I personally have tried to get involved in the Miami-Dade elections, and they are run by a group who controls,
Yeah.
their version of the mob.
And some of them are leaving.
Some of them have to leave
But
because
they,
it's getting hot.
They still want to control
because
it.
it's getting hot. You're talking about the Miami-Dade Commission?
Yeah, the Miami-Dade Commission, some of
Or
the
the
new...
elections? Oh, the new guys.
some of the new guys and some of the old guys still have what they call it, eternal powers.
Oh, you're talking about our own?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he comes out on every flyer there is out there. I think there's one you guys have there. You can show me.
Yeah,
but-
can you show me, Silvia, our mayor's elect?
And this is the main
potential
problem.
officials.
But this is the problem I've always had with him. He can be the greatest politician.
There he is, number one.
Yeah, he can be the greatest politician we've ever had because he's good at it.
Well, he did,
The
but he lost
problem we
focus.
have is
He lost focus.
his ego has taken over. So he's now into power. It's just about power for him. I want power here. I want power here. I want power. So you know what? We have a
Unplug him.
how do I let's take it to the national level, give him a comparison. He is no different than Obama nationally. How's that? Even though he allegedly got the endorsement of Donald J. Trump, allegedly in quotations, because we all know what was exchanged there.
October 27th
Exactly. Just let that
is
one
the
go.
sign check.
Yes, let's
Anyway,
But
I can't.
the fact is that he
don't
comes
let it
back.
go. Don't let it go.
You have to let it go.
I let it go, but it's not. I mean,
You have to
I
let it go.
applaud
Trump, brilliant.
the investments.
Yeah, checkmate.
The big developments
Checkmate.
of our city.
100%.
I love it, but it has to be done plannedly. It's got to be done in an orderly fashion.
I'd love to see how his chosen candidate's going to vote for it.
Well, his chosen, what's it called? Slate?
Yeah,
La carta.
I want to know how they're gonna vote.
This is what's going on social media.
'Cause I don't think people know the extent of this project.
This post right here
Which one?
is what's coming out on social media. I freaked out when I saw it.
It's funny how they
playing
blamed his
cards
opponent
of
for
Jay-Z.
photoshopping, but he's lost about 20 years on these photoshops too.
This is back in 2003. He looked like that. They still have not changed the
Photoshop
picture.
is the way to go, then, bud.
No, I'm telling you. Now, but you see, you got Mariaca on the mayor seat. Seat number 1, Susie Castillo. You got Yvette Gonzalez Pekovic. He's in there, Mr.
Who's all in on marijuana, by the way?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. The Joker, Mr. Puig.
He's
Okay,
already.
he's already in there. And then Miss Cabral. Okay? These are, but look at this. It says, couldn't it be any more discreet? I mean, you're talking 13 candidates in the ballot of this election, and only 4. And it happens to be his 4 choices get the endorsement of the PBA. And we all participated. I mean, the post is very accurate. I freaked out when I saw it. I said, wow, my God, what a ridiculous thing.
That's why endorsements are...
Don't count.
It's a dime a dozen. Who cares? Who are you getting endorsed by? Even the Trump endorsement, if not done properly, by properly I mean you're on stage at a rally, his own PAC is selling endorsements basically without the boss knowing about it. That's just fact. Everybody knows this already.
My biggest
So
endorsement.
it's a CPAC.
You know what
It's not a CPAC. Sorry. It's a PAC
It's a pack.
issue. CPAC is a good
What my biggest endorsement? 7,077
Exactly. Those are
voters
the voters you had.
in
Exactly.
2022.
You don't need an endorsement if you get a message out. You don't
That's
need
it.
an endorsement if you knock on
If you get it
doors.
right.
You don't need endorsements if you're on the right side.
If you really do have the best intentions
course.
to fix what's wrong. We live in a great city, but they lost the focus. That's my speaking.
That's all there is.
That's what my
You
word
need
is
change.
all about.
You need change. When you have that person, that mayor, that whatever you want, commissioner, whatever it is that we're going to call him now,
That lost the focus.
that refuses to give up. Why, if he wants to stay in power, why did he give up his seat and
Before
run for
time.
commission?
Before
Stick
time.
here, duke it out, rerun.
I have on Spanish
Yeah.
because he said it in an interview.
What did he say?
In a radio station. Silvia.
What station?
Uh,
What was it that he said?
he said.
Espero volver y gracias. Todavía voy a ser alcalde hasta noviembre 7, así que después de eso en noviembre.
¿Está apoyando a alguien para la
Todavía no, pero oficialmente lo diré en como 2 o 3 semanas. Yo creo que
está invitado a venir aquí y darnos la primicia.
lo diré. Y quiero decir, porque esto sí quiero mencionarlo, yo sé que nos queda corto tiempo, pero parte de esta campaña era la intención de no solamente ganar en el Distrito 12, pero tomar control de la ciudad de Doral. Y voy a quedar claro. Pero
He said, the part of my campaign
That's
was not
shameful.
just winning
That's shameful.
District 12,
Right.
but not to lose control of the city of Doral. This
No,
is
no.
not in this radio station, of course.
He clearly states in Spanish that he wants to obtain control.
Continue to obtain
Correct.
control.
That's
of the
shameful.
city. Is that why probably he has not? Rumors say.
This is
Rumors are saying that in the swearing ceremony of November 17th for the new commissioners of Miami-Dade County, Mr. Bermudez, rumors are in social media, and the streets talking,
course.
or the hallways of even our own city hall, that he has no contact Pepe Diaz to find out what is he going to get.
Oh, that's very simple. You can get one of your reporters to call Pepe Diaz tomorrow and confirm if they've reached out to him.
I'm sure somebody.
But what is it that he needs to reach out to Pepe? That's his office. It switches now.
No. His plan is to put District 12 office at the City Hall of Doral.
You got to be kidding me.
That's what they're saying on the hallways. And when the river sounds, it's because rocks are falling down.
That is,
My friend,
that
is really not losing control of this
that
city.
is just-
I hope to God our voters are really, really, really opened up. They study their candidates. I'm not doing a political show here. I'm not doing a campaign
No,
show
but
for myself.
that's shameful.
I'm saying that it's impossible. Okay,
shameful.
he resigned to move on to a higher position. He plans. I mean, he took his pension.
That's correct.
Okay, whether we get there or not, and revise it and have the voters say you do demand. I mean, you do deserve a pension. Maybe not that juicy, because it does take time from an elected official.
Again,
you
could debate that.
his family time, his free time, but you get paid for those times.
Of course you do. That's what
Okay.
your salary's for.
Well-
That's what your medical benefits for when you're in office.
Big time.
Yeah.
Okay, but $110,000.
No, I
just the
disagree with
mayor.
that 100%. But go back. So his plan is to move the office Which, by the way,
District 12.
It's not illegal. It's unethical.
Well, Ana Maria Rodriguez.
illegal,
Ana Maria Rodriguez's office is in the city.
Yeah.
Building.
But isn't her? Yeah, and then one of them is a chief of staff, I believe, right?
Her nephew.
Is it for Bermudez.
Yeah. The chief of staff of
Poor
Bermudez.
Ortega. Well, that's another show, I guess.
No, but he's still in the city
Alfredo?
until he gets elected, probably in Weston. His best of luck.
That's all.
I applaud every single candidate in the ballot. I get my hat off to all of them, because making the decision of running for office in a difficult city as we are, I'm talking campaign wise, it takes guts.
Well, sometimes you owe favors and you have to run, but ask Mr. P.
Let's look at Mr. Bermudez Slade. Give me the PBA for everyone. Oh, look at this. This is out in the mail today.
This is what's going to reach our doors. It's amazing. I really don't get much of their mail.
You decide the future of Doral.
Definitely.
The residents of Doral have a choice to make this November 8th. We move forward as the city will return to times of chaos.
See, he keeps hyping on the time of chaos.
What are you talking about chaos? We are living times of
100%.
chaos.
Well, the chaos.
We have not resolved the traffic issues.
He sounds like a Democrat, which is what he really is, because he's going back. The Democrats keep hitting Trump for stuff that he's. I mean, this is still hitting Bermudez. I mean, Boria, poor Luigi Boria has been sitting at home for the past 4 years doing nothing.
No, more than 4 years.
Whatever, playing golf,
6 years,
working on his company, building, educating himself, becoming a good citizen.
And he's still out there, and everybody loves him.
Pounded.
He was the people's candidate.
That's an absolute disgrace.
He was a people's.
This guy's a joke.
Boria was a people's or residents.
Absolute disgrace. And all, but you know what it is? You know what the area of chaos? The same art. Sadly, the candidate that he went up against was really badly handled.
Yeah, totally.
But because their argument is Boria had an English problem.
It is amazing
right?
what a campaign manager can do for
100%. The Boria issue. Oh well, his English. It's just old. It's tired. It's stupid. Bottom line, it has no business being.
You can fool people sometimes.
It's
you
a joke.
cannot fool people all the
We're
time.
living in chaos. You have a bond that needs to be audited.
A chaos park.
Correct.
A chaos transit system, because you overpopulated and they overdeveloped the city.
And you sold your soul to for an endorsement that he didn't need. He didn't need the endorsement because he was, according to everybody, he was going to win in a landslide, right? He did. But that shows his lack of judgment.
Well,
he had to get the endorsement, and he sold the city out again for a development project for the endorsement. Everybody knows it.
Did you buy your helicopter?
No. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy.
I'm looking for a manufacturer of helicopters to give us a discount in a fleet.
And I want to see how. I really do want to see how the Mariaca is going to vote for that. I really want to see if she's gonna have the courage to stand, like she says. Or
not only Mariaca, Miss Cabral as well.
Or Digna. I want to see how they're going to vote for this.
Okay.
Are they going to vote to literally add 3,000?
What about Pete? Pete also has a voting.
Pete has a vote. That's right.
Maybe he's not on his slate, but you got 3 votes in there plus him. Oh well, you got to.
Right, but you got to remember,
you got 4
Pete,
votes.
but Pete, look, Pete and Digna. Well, Digna is, but Pete's not endorsed allegedly by Bermudez.
No, at all. Of course not.
So Pete, he's got a right to vote one way or the other. I don't have an issue with him in terms of what he thinks. If he thinks that that's a good deal, go ahead and vote for it. But my question is, that's not saying the word of the mayor. The mayor's endorsing 2 people, against you and against Ms. Fraga and
Piñeiro.
So let's see what those 2 vote. Are they going to vote against the interest of the city? That's all I want to know.
Well, I think they're going to vote against the interests of the residents of the city, because
that's what I mean
those
by
are
the city.
ones. Yeah, but those are the ones. No, but they're part of the city too.
No, but the residents are the ones that.
But you see, those are the ones that are going to sit on a car on 87th.
And the deal's done, by the way. The deal's done.
I could imagine so.
It's already done. It's a back. Everybody knows the deal's done. It's just. Publicly, will they do this?
Can it be?
I don't believe it can, and I also don't believe Trump is going to own any of it. I think Trump is going to flip this like the genius that he is, and you're going to have a developer come in. He's going to make $1 gazillion on the flip.
Don't talk about developers.
And before you know it,
the most corrupted people in this city are some developers.
I don't know about that. That's a tough statement.
No. I have proof, but I don't want to talk about
No,
it.
but the corruption is not the developer. The corruption is that on the officials that create the corruption.
But the power is in the.
But the developer has to make the decisions and play the game the way it's played.
Do things right.
But they are doing it right. When the city's corrupt, you have to play the corrupt game. You have to. If not, your project doesn't get off the ground.
One of my projects is to really fix the planning, the permitting process. They have to.
You're mixing
change.
a couple of things at the
I
same
know,
time.
no, but I'm telling you,
The permitting process
That's-
is independent of the issue
No.
that you're talking. 100%. I do this every day.
no, but it's ruled by the city.
Yeah, of course it is. The building department is ruled by the city, but the
Yeah.
corruption is not in the building department. The corruption is in the entire city, and the developers aren't taking the building
The
officials.
pressure goes into what does
Guys,
a developer needs
Juan
to
Carlos,
develop his projects?
But Juan Carlos, that goes in the zoning board. That goes in at the level of planning. That goes at the level of the sale of the corruption's in between the votes at the zoning level at the top, and then it gets trickled down. If you don't fix the top, why are you going to fix the building department?
But how you? But that's what we. But my target is.
You know?
Well, the target is fix the top so that you can fix the
Of
bottom.
course, but what I'm saying is that you can't
that's
go
what I
out,
meant.
You can't
It's not that
blame. You can't blame the developer for being put in a position.
I have
play the
source,
game.
I have information
No, but
that
that's
you will freak
Guys,
out how corrupted some
but they're corrupt because that's a system that they've been playing in.
if they do things right.
But
they
it's
don't
not
have
up to
be
them to
corrupt.
do.
They don't
See,
have to
here's
play-
the thing. If I
They don't have to play corruption.
Let me give you an example.
If things work the right way, they don't have to play.
But it's not up to them to make things work the right way. It's up to
Maybe
the
no,
building
but
department.
you see, every man has his price. That's what the saying says. Okay, if you don't instigate to bribe somebody to get a thing done, but you go by the rules and the rule of law in a process so easy. I mean, the law states the permitting process is.
You
So,
cannot.
what I'm saying.
Don't use the
you
word
be go-
bribe because you can't. These don't careful. You can't make statements without proof. All right. But what we're saying is, I'll give you an example. You have a guy with a $500 permit. You have a guy with a $100,000 permit.
And everybody's in the same tunnel. That has to be separate.
What does that do? You allow now for more efficient building department, more oversight.
That's right.
But the developer that is forced to pay, to use credits, to play games is not because the developer wishes
because
not to.
the system
let me tell you,
pulls him that way?
Of course, because the developer would rather have not 1 million, 100 more millions in his pocket,
Yeah.
as opposed to distributing.
And he will do whatever it takes.
But his project needs to
do it.
go up because he has investors. His project has to go up.
But you see,
So it's
everything-
up to
Great example. Everything is in the same tube.
funnel, of course.
Okay? And once a building gets stuck in the funnel, the shortest part, everybody on top waits. And Miss Rodriguez waiting for a permit for her pavers or to paint her house is in the same funnel.
100%.
You have to separate them. How bright cannot they be?
That is correct. I don't disagree with that. The only thing
That's what
I
I'm
want to
saying.
clear up is you got to understand that the corruption doesn't come from the private sector.
No.
The corruption does not come from. I disagree with you. The corruption comes
Inside of the public
because
sector.
of the public sector forcing me to become a corrupt individual. Because I'm telling you, if I have 40 acres that I have to develop, and I've got investors that are on my rear end to get this project done in 5 years.
I agree.
It's not up to me to be corrupt. If I play the rules and go,
If
and
you
I
don't get it
realize that my project, if I don't do X, my project gets a 5-year delay. That's my rear end. So I better play and do X. But who sets these X rules? It isn't me. It's you as a building department. You as a city. You're the one creating the chaos. You're the one creating the corruption. You're the one having the problem.
The beginning, everything starts of having the right people running the department.
Of course, I agree with you.
Okay, but sometimes we get stuck to make it greased. You know.
Again,
I'm
where's
sorry.
the greasing coming from? It's coming from the rules that are being established by the city in power. The
you
people that,
believe-
if you guys go in there and you have a new city manager, not that, I'm not saying the current one's a bad guy. I'm just giving you an example. If you come in there and you clean house, let's say, let's use a better phrase. You clean house, everybody's gone.
Don't scare people away.
Well, Tough times call for tough decisions.
That's it.
You need to clean house. If you're in there, you're cleaning house.
That's it.
That's what it is. Why do you think Bermuda doesn't want to leave? Because
Because he doesn't want the house clean.
Because he's not dumb. If there's one thing you have to understand is this person's not dumb. He's very smart.
Oh no, I have nothing
He's
against Bermuda.
brilliant.
But is enough is enough.
Except his, again, we go back to his ego, the control factor. But if you guys get in, it's a clean house.
Totally.
And then Christie or Pete
What do you
are
think
going to
they
have
don't
to run
wanna-
in 2 years.
Why
Again.
do you think they don't want us in?
No, because you can't clean. Well, I could tell you why.
In 2 years we can clean house?
No, I think you.
20 years.
I think if you guys get in, let's say Mayor Peter Christie, then you, Rafael, I think that at least you can push for the audit in the bond or be forced into it. There's a better chance of that clearly with Christie than there is with Pete, because that would be putting his own, rear end on the line.
the grill.
But remains to be seen. If it's Mariaca, I guarantee you everything stays where it's at.
That's it.
Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
There is a chance that Pete would, do the right thing.
I'm sure.
As far as Digna, that's a rubber stamp.
No.
As far
that's
as
a yes. That's a
you know,
yes.
The other one, again, I don't know Susie Castillo. I don't know anybody in that seat. I know who I'm voting for, but I really don't know anybody in that seat. So it's an open seat. I don't know who. So I can only hope that
two of them have been. Oh,
sadly, I know that two out of the
do
three.
you believe
are
in the
liberals,
quote? Do you believe on the quote that says that the more money you have, the better chance you have to get elected?
I think that has been debunked.
Put this list on.
I think that's been debunked.
There it is. This is
in
the
more
report
ways than one.
as of today. Quita a otro nivel. There you go. Okay, here you go. You have
Okay.
Pete Cabrera with $229,000, $251,000. Christy Fraga with 139, Mariaca with 132.
Here's where I have some problems.
Okay, $2,000.
Let's go to
for
seat. Let's
nine?
go seat by seat. The mayor. I would expect Pete Cabrera to have that much. I mean, he's been here long enough. I expect Christy Fraga at number 2. Mariaca, clearly picking up money from J.C. Bermudez is packed.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in hell that,
You know
let's
how
just
hard
move
it
on.
is. You know
Yeah,
how
there's no
hard
way.
it is to get
Now,
somebody
here's
to
where it
donate.
gets funny. Miss Castillo is at $34,000. That is clearly PAC money from
Totally. Well,
From,
there's 34,000 this month. Last month was only like $7,000.
right. But this is where I get that people get picked
Yeah.
in certain cases. You gave credit to the heroes that want to run,
Yep.
and I'm telling you, in certain cases, people are put in to create chaos. I think that's a prime example. You got 4 people in that seat. You've got. And let's just name them. You got Castillo, who's on the side of Bermudez. You got Pereira, who's on the side of. I
But
don't know.
Frank
He's
Gavins was on the side of Bermudez.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, so he's got two. He's got 2 horses in that race.
Well,
Pereira is a recycled politician for 15 years. Yet all of a sudden, he's got $10,000 from somewhere, and he's actually going to take votes away. See, that's what's the problem with the city election. You're looking at seat 1. That's your problem. What's going on? Why the city is so disastrous and so corrupt? That ends up in a runoff, and I'll tell you, you have a kid in Rafael Piñero who's done nothing but work his rear end off, sell, be part of the community, and yet he gets, because he's the one that's allegedly most vulnerable, he gets 3 people to run against him, of which there's no way he's going to walk out 51%. So that right there is the Bermudez, what I call the Bermudez way. Get these things to a runoff in December when nobody shows up, and then he brings out his horses to try and take that seat.
that's it.
That should not be allowed.
I think there will be surprises. Seat number 2.
Again,
Iber
Petrovich.
Gonzalez is Bermudez.
Yeah.
Okay. I have seen Maureen Porras.
so have I. I've
Okay.
disagree on political parties, but I have no objection to her. I think she's
Juan
gonna be
Manuel
fine.
Sucre, bright guy, but new kid on the block.
I just saw his sign up the other day.
And the sign. Don't get me started.
I
with
just
the
saw a
sign.
sign the other day. I didn't know who he was.
Signs. They don't respect signs. Anyway, and then you have seat number 4.
And that
Okay.
but that tells me there's not a lot of money going in on that horse. You have your money, and then Digna's not. She's trailing behind. The money that's being spent is being spent in seat 1,
And the
clearly
mayor's
in the
seat.
mayor's seat, to try and take. That's where the control lies, right there.
That's it.
Your seat, I think they are. if we're going to analyze this from a I don't know, from
A donor's point?
from an outsider's point of view, and see you can see where the money and where their gamble is. They're
No, you have
gambling
to-
on Mariaca.
You have to go squeeze in the seat itself. 75% of my opponent's money, it comes from a builder.
But it's fine. But what I'm saying is that the money is equal.
Oh, yeah.
So the pack.
But I get a lot of work.
I get it, but the Bermuda's horse isn't dropping money. So what's he doing? He's probably giving up that seat, or he's gonna be, you know what, putting it as a check mark as a possible loss.
No, if that's the law, if
we
that's
gotta
the
put that
rule,
back up.
put it back up right there. Arriba, que se vea. I have, you see, right now, if your theory is that,
That's
you know,
his
he
mind.
puts more candidates into a city to force a runoff, what
Yeah,
happened?
his game is on Council 1. His game is mayor and seat 1.
Okay, what happened to consul seat number 4? Why didn't he put an additional?
Because eventually your gig is up. He doesn't need seat 4. He needs to take the open seat, which is seat 1, and he needs to take the mayor's seat. And then if he's lucky, Digna can win. And now he's got full control again.
I thought it should. Anyway,
No, but you see what I'm saying? You're asking me, the
It's
game.
true.
The game is try to control. I mean, if it's a power game, it's to control the seats, right? Everybody's got one vote, theoretically,
yeah,
even though he's got 5.
yeah.
Theoretically, it's supposed to be one
He already
vote.
has one in.
He's got one in.
Yeah,
He needs to get majority. How do you get majority of 5?
splitting the vote.
Bingo. His odds are really good in seat 1.
Okay.
Really good, even though we don't like that. But his odds are good in seat 1. He's going to go to runoff. That's his game. Then it's going to be a turnout game.
C2.
And we know what happens with turnout because he lost, he won his last election with a whopping 19% Dade County turnout. 19%.
That's what I'm afraid of. What do you predict?
We're at 50% here. And the
46 to 50,
The
yes.
worse it gets, the better it is for the election. People should go out in droves and start, getting these bums
We
out
have
of the hell out of
we have a lot of people talking about pulling people to go vote.
That's very important.
Because if
on game day.
if the turnout is lower than 45%,
We're over. It's over.
pack and leave.
Yeah, we're over. We'll lose the Senate seat. I'm talking about U.S. Senate. We'll lose.
Maybe we'll surprise people.
We'll possibly lose a couple of the open seats, and it'll be a disaster. We need like the previous election. We had calculated, like I explained to you, at least 25 to 30 to 25% turnout.
Well, that's what the track was,
And
in many
And
elections.
being that the worse the economy gets, the more people get upset. We expected it to hit, but to see 19%, I was shocked. I was really disappointed.
In some of them,
I was really disappointed.
12%.
I was really disappointed.
In some of precincts,
It was really, really disappointing.
it was only 12%
So in this case,
turnout. 88%.
I believe that you have the mayor.
Abstinence.
The governor will all on its own command a massive turnout. I think we're sitting at 45 minimum and probably closer to the 50%. And I think that's a
Hopefully.
pretty good bet.
Well, 15,000 people out of the 32. If 50%, 15,750
You got to
people.
take and here's where you got to take 3,500 off that and take it right off the bat
Why is that?
because those are the Bermuda's crowd. Bermuda's commands
Only 3,500.
let's say it's 4,000. I don't know the exact number, but I know his percentage is around the 4,000s.
Yeah. Do you think
So
people...
those 4,000 are going to be. You got to eliminate them from your table.
What
and
are
you
they?
got to fight for the.
Infatuated?
That's his group. Well, he hasn't been a bad mayor. He became
he lost the focus.
He got comfortable. That's what happens when people stay in office.
No,
20
I think
years.
he doesn't like to lose power.
Correct, and then that's
That's
the
the problem.
typical of a politician.
If you give power to one people for a long time, he gets.
You heard the phrase "power corrupts."
That's it. But I'm only one vote.
You're
Maybe
a big
in my
vote.
house-
Yeah, but you're a big vote. You're
No, I mean
You're
as
a
a
big
resident, as a citizen.
As a
I'm
citizen,
one,
but
out of
everybody-
1.5
right,
million.
but you can't look at it that way.
No, of course
You
not.
got to get one, then you got to get the wife, you got to get your kids. You're not one. You represent 10 votes.
And more.
You know what I mean? Because it trickles down.
Did you
from
see the
there.
picture of my family reunion?
Yeah. Congratulations on a wonderful picture.
I'm telling
Definitely
you.
got the wide lens.
I got it covered on election day.
I hope so.
Every single precinct. Anyway,
I land on November 7th. I would not miss the election day for anything in the world.
what do you mean? Where you going? You can't
I land.
leave.
No, I will be here for. I will be here bright and early, ready to rock and roll November 8th. I'm actually, I believe we're poll watching November 8th.
Good. Only on a particular seat or no? Every.
No, I think I'll be stationed in Doral. Where in Doral, I'm not sure yet. I'm waiting for my report.
I have my poll watchers on election day.
You need to get them registered because
I did.
Because they can be thrown out. You know what I mean?
No. I mean,
Registered, go through the program.
What do you think is going to be a preliminary voting, the site? If you had only two candidates for the August 23rd election, and that was a chaos.
How about that? Shouldn't be allowed, guys. That's just it's a total.
Can you imagine 13 candidates?
It's a joke. This is becoming third world at its finest. This is a joke. Miami-Dade County is becoming
Plátano power.
yeah, and you don't have the Republican Party here is asleep. They don't open their doors. It's a joke, but it's the game.
I love to make
It's the game that we've been given to play. You can't play Monopoly when you're playing Parcheesi. We're playing Monopoly.
backgammon.
Or checkers when they're playing chess. You got to play their game.
You have to play what the game is
The
being
game,
played.
and the game
No,
is
but in some
the
occasions,
ways to win. Again, I'll
Pablo,
repeat it till I'm green.
the game is
day
not just one
voting.
game. They're playing multiple games.
But you can defeat all of it if
Yeah.
you show up and vote November 8th. Because
it.
the only way it gets, and that includes Doral, because the game of the absentee is a Doral game as well. Don't think it's not.
Yeah.
I'm not accusing anybody of corruption. I'm just telling you facts are. If you show up,
District 6,
it's better.
we're one of the 5 cities in District 6.
Mm-hmm.
On the major seats, do you think that they are scared of a retaliation from our mayor when he becomes the real commissioner?
I don't doubt that for a minute. He's a very vengeful person. That's fact.
That's dangerous for a city.
Well, but they voted him in.
Can you
so-
imagine on top of that of having a control council?
But he's going to be held accountable because now he's in charge of our traffic. Now he's in charge
Of our trash.
Our trash, where he makes promises, and we have a voice now that he doesn't have to answer to.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to hear it.
That's right.
So there is a give and take that's going to occur now. He's moving up.
Yeah.
By moving up, he's got other responsibilities. You
Well,
can't use.
we have to move him up.
Yeah, but you remember.
We cannot let him here.
Remember how many times he said, "Well, that's not me. That's the county."
Yeah. Oh, that
Now
is the
it's him.
reason.
Now it's
that
him.
is the reason
Now it's
why.
him.
But you see,
Now it's him.
I hear this political speeches
Mm-hmm.
from many of the candidates, many
Okay.
that have been elected officials and are elected officials, saying we have to resolve the traffic issues. You've been there so long,
100%.
and you have not done it. What makes you
the
think?
congressman has been in Congress for
Bingity
40
bagada
years.
boom.
Yeah, of course. Half the Democratic
It's not a
Party.
magic wand. No.
No.
Now-
and a lot of it is too late. Don't kid yourself.
No.
A
but
lot
wait.
of it is way too late
But listen,
because you've overblown.
But
How
you
are you going to
make-
fix 107th Avenue, for example? You can't fix 107th Avenue.
no, you cannot fix 87th Avenue
Can't fix 87th. They can't fix 107th.
because they
It's a
took
disaster.
the what do they call it? The recess.
And what did you say? You can't fix 87th Avenue?
You cannot, and it's
What-
gonna go worse.
And he just sold out 3,000.
What's the name of that
additional
building? Windsor.
Whatever. it is. I
You
don't
from
even
the 10th floor. I had a friend that lives there.
even know
From
what
the
it is.
10th floor balcony going down, you can see actually the actual road. So that means that building is like you can actually see the road. That means the recess between the sidewalk And the road and the
Yeah,
street
you're right on the
is only
property.
is right on the
It's
property.
maxed out.
You cannot
Yeah.
expand 87th Avenue
You can't.
unless you go inside of Trump's property. Do you think he's going to allow it?
He might.
I don't know. Maybe.
Depends how much we're selling ourselves.
It's the only
Remember,
way.
there's guys that
Have you been to Venezuela?
no. There's guys that never lose.
Have you been to Tegucigalpa, Honduras?
No.
Okay. Tegucigalpa, Honduras became a second-level city, all pure concrete, because of the same mistakes. the
Explain,
city
I
did.
don't understand what
How? Well, you have roads going east, and you have upper roads going west. If we don't fix this,
It's a disaster.
I mean,
It's a disaster.
we're only a small city, 75,000 people, but 110,000 go through here. They come to work here. Let me tell you, we have a terrible one of my projects. One of my projects. You cannot promote a smart city when you have allowed vertical housing. I mean, in a same
Apartment.
apartment, overpopulated, because we have become an overpopulated city.
100%.
Okay, you're looking at over 14,000 new units ever since the Mr.
Yeah, his biggest
developed.
failure was allowing the mix between the commercial and the. In other words, you're mixing commercial with residential.
But wait.
on the same,
He says that
Yeah.
he inherited that way from the county.
See, but that doesn't work that way.
You see, he should have changed the
Of
law.
course, that doesn't work that way because the county is not involved in zoning issues of the city of Doral.
But that's
It's just not.
But that's what they tell the people.
Well, I get it, but it's just not. It just and this information is public. You can look it up. County's not involved in zoning issues of Doral.
Metropolis,
The issue
New
of
York City. What does it have?
oh, it's got
A
massive,
great transit system. We do not
Miami-Dade
have it.
County
One of
is
my
not.
proposals is to change completely the trolley
But
system.
let me ask you something. All right, let's go now to me helping you figuring this out or trying to figure out other than me being here as your guest.
Okay.
How are you going to possibly fix this?
You put a grid system. that
Explain.
would- From east to west,
Mm-hmm.
north to south. We are a square city.
Correct.
You cannot have one trolley go around the whole city. They don't interject to each other. The only way you're going to leave your car in downtown Doral, if it's you walk a half a mile, a half a block,
Right.
you take 87th trolley to 12th Street because you want to go to International Mall, but immediately you get off the trolley, another trolley comes from east on 12th Street to 107th
You know what
Avenue.
how much does the trolley system cost the city?
You don't do this. Just tell me what the budget of the public system of transportation in the Miami-Dade makes more money out of it. Advertising.
Okay, but let's just.
I'm talking smart units.
But wouldn't it be better to have those smart cars, like the contract that we have with these people allegedly in downtown? See, I think the trolley is the most inefficient.
Because they're too big.
I think it's the most
They're too big.
inefficient
No, they're too
process
big.
we have in the city.
No, if they integrate with a grid system, smaller units and more units, not to mention chauffeurless, controlling it, chauffeurless. I mean, you can control it like a golf cart, baby. I'm telling you, it's already been there, and you can do this privately with in a combination of a city.
So you would
and
do
privately
a
owned.
private-public
Private.
partnership.
That's it. You do it, and you know who pays for it? Advertising. Period. My friend, you get off your house. You leave your car behind. Maybe you sell your car if you know you have a proper transit system. We don't have it.
Yeah, but you have but hold on. Here's the
Okay.
You yourself said 100,000 people trafficking this city. Most of them do not live here because most of them come and work. So how does
Fine.
that? How does?
But
that
only 40,000
trolley-
come. No,
How
the
does that trolley system benefit?
not the ones that are coming through.
It just doesn't benefit people
Well, talking
unless you switch. See, I'm just not a fan. I think the trolley system was a PR campaign gone wrong.
Uber.
By-
I
yeah,
don't know, something.
Correct.
You have to do something.
I think that the trolley system is like I said, it's a.
You know what
it was
they do
an
in my
advertising,
country?
just like when they went to the whole. Oh, I'm going to go to FIU.
No, come on.
Nobody goes to FIU like that. It's a community university.
No, the only trolley
I got
that
Metro
really
bus.
gets full is the one that leaves Ronald Reagan
Mm-hmm.
to FIU. The only one, because kids use it to go to school. But you will not take a trolley after 8 hours of work standing in a
Hell no,
supermarket
We're not wired that way in this city.
if you give them the right tools and if you do a right thing. You have to integrate and you have to interconnect and make connections. I'm telling you, they don't charge for the trolley. You can even charge them. No, it's free. It's a free system.
But yet nobody uses it.
What do you, no, I mean, 1% of the population does.
Nobody uses it.
Because it's obsolete and it's terrible. It is terribly designed.
It was always okay. So it's been terribly designed. Since,
we will fix that. That's one of them.
Yeah, but I'd put that. What is your opinion on my idea of auditing the bond?
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
That's why they don't want us there. Auditing the bond and a lot of things. When you start opening all those pots and you see the smell
remember,
of the
you
food.
there's another election that's going to take place in 2 years. Not for you, but for the mayoral seat, which is going to, again, if he loses power next month, he's going to come back with a vengeance.
He's going to get elected again in 2 years. Also, no? Or 4 years?
I don't know. I believe his election. I believe he's
got to do 4 years.
Yeah, he's got to do his 4 now.
No, 4 years?
Whatever.
We
his
have to
term
study.
is.
I think
but,
it's
but
2
I
or
know
4.
I know he won't be up.
I don't agree with 2 years on Congress. I mean, it costs a lot of money to make an election. And every 2 years.
But my point is that he jumped early, left. So we got 2 years of mayor.
It was his only opportunity. If he left that wide open,
they would have gotten smoked. Yeah, they would have gotten smoked.
No, it was his only opportunity.
But
that's why he left.
But my point is,
but he defrauded us because
hold on.
the election in 2020.
Let's get back to the question I have is, in the 2 years, you got to prioritize because you will be part of a majority control of the. So you can't. I don't believe you have enough time. The audit alone of the bond will take you probably the 2 years.
Exactly. But you got to do it immediately. You go.
Correct. But then once that's going, you got to win the election again mayorally to be able to continue it, or else they do the old chop it and you bury it under. Your next priority, wouldn't it be more prudent to be the pension?
No. The first priority is the pension.
So then where does the bond come in?
And then we put it in a. No, I mean it's all simultaneously.
No, it can't be all simultaneous. I never. Every politician sells the same. It can't be all simultaneous. You got to have priorities. You're going to fix the building department. You're going to fix. You can't.
There's 5 of us.
Right, but you're
maybe 4.
What you're going to present? I'm asking what your first day in office.
My first day in office.
You're sworn in. What is your first proposal bringing up to the council?
Child pension. You got to get rid of the pension.
Then I agree with you.
Okay.
That's
only one session. Bang,
fine.
And we put it on the ballot in 2 years.
Got it.
We're not going to make a special election.
No, we're not.
I don't think you should. You know how much an election costs?
Why would you do a special election?
It costs $56,000.
You stop it, period. It's on hold.
Stop it. It's on hold until the election.
Legally
and then on the following election,
and then
2024,
you figure it out.
It goes inside of the ballot, and then the residents decide whether an elected official
Agreed.
should have that issue.
Agreed.
But that's only one call. What's next?
You tell me.
Okay.
You're offering solutions to the city, and I'm just
the transit system. Okay, the transit system. I'm telling you, that has to be a priority.
But the transit system involves bringing in a J.C. Bermudez to help you do that, because some of those roads are county roads. Some of those roads are run by them. You're going to get. So
how do we get the trolley system working? All we do is bettering the system in the city.
But you're gonna have. What I'm getting at is it's. Before you do that, wouldn't it be more prudent to get the audit find out where the hell the money went?
But that's different money.
Get rid of the security cameras.
Oh no, but that's part of the traffic issue.
But
you get out. You get the security cameras. You get them out of the traffic lights.
Correct.
And you put them in front of schools facing out. You see what happened yesterday?
No.
I mean, Ronald Reagan had
the whole.
I know it's a prank.
The whole prank of a
but you see how dangerous that is?
100%.
If you have cameras watching out of the schools, you can put them in. It's not a jurisdiction.
Of course. State County Public Schools.
It's State County Public School. But you can put a front of the school in the city property, cameras facing out, watching out what's going on outside of the school, not inside.
I don't disagree with that.
That's one of the projects.
I guess what I'm trying to get at
Get the cameras out of the traffic
is,
lights. Stop penalizing your people. Hire more cops.
Okay, but hold on. Let's go step by step, because I don't do politicians well, and you're getting good at it. So let's just take we got to take a break, or we got
we already went 56 minutes down the line.
Give me 5 more minutes.
You got 5 minutes. Can we have 5 minutes? We got 5 minutes.
All right. Let me ask you a couple.
I get jumped.
Let's the police and the crime situation in this city. It is through the roof.
I know.
Yesterday, these issues do not happen.
Yep.
if we have a certain amount of police.
Well paid.
Correct. In addition, I want to know what you think is going to happen with this city, because I don't know if you're aware. But as you know, there's no secret I'm involved in national policies and organizations. I don't know if you're aware, but as the illegals get dropped in Washington, D.C.,
They're going to start dropping them here.
we have approximately, on the last bus, I was given the report, there was about 6,000 Venezuelans. This is a fact. I'm not discriminating against any Venezuelan. Don't jump on the radio station. Facts are the single males ages 14 to 20 from Venezuela are coming to Florida. They're not going to Ocala.
No.
They're not going to Orlando.
They want to eat arepas.
They're coming to Doral. What
Well,
is
Miami-Dade.
your Doral? What is
They cannot
your,
afford this city.
Okay. So whether they can afford it or not, what are we? Do we have any ideas behind what we're going to do to handle this immediate problem? Because in the potential disaster that we have a housing crisis.
We have a housing
We have
crisis
a
for our
crime,
working force.
and we
Can
have
you
a
imagine if we
crime,
have it? We don't have low
We have a
housing.
crime problem. What happens when these people get dumped in the middle of the city hall?
Mr. Bermudez
We
has a
have-
problem in District 6. We don't.
You
We
don't
are
believe-
a very.
you don't believe that's a city problem?
It's going to have a collateral damage to the city.
Okay,
Okay, but Mr. Bermudez, the district,
correct.
is going to have a big problem. Sweetwater, Hialeah, lower. Have you seen in a house, an apartment, a one-bedroom apartment on 79th Avenue is $2,300.
It doesn't mean that it's accurately priced, though.
But it's the price.
Oh, I agree with you. It is what it is. But
That's why our people
but
are leaving.
But that creates bigger problems. You're pricing people out. So now you're forcing people.
But how could you control that? It's private property.
No, I'm not saying you can or you can't. I'm just.
Okay.
My question is, I'm going to dump 6,000 illegals in your doorstep. What are you going to do about it, Mr. Councilman?
No, that's a question you have to ask Mr. Bermudez, because it's not an issue that is going to have a collateral damage into the city. What do you want? We don't have a place so that we can put a tent city.
Exactly.
We are not going to allow a tent city in Doral. I mean,
So where are you going to put them?
they don't fit here. They better have
So
family members
So are
here.
we going to have the trolley dump them somewhere else?
I have no idea.
But that's something we should think about, right?
Well,
Because they're coming.
let me
They'll
tell
be
you-
here before the election.
Do you know, now that you mention that, if you have, okay, I believe the federal government has to resolve the border issue.
They're not
have-
resolving the border issue anytime
Okay,
soon.
well, fine. Then we have to find out a way to have industrialized. Maybe we'll become a big industrial country again by using these illegal immigrants and make them work in industrial parks in big cities like, where there's a lot of land.
But when you're illegal, you're illegal. So
No. You have to give them some temporary. You have to give them some type of allowance for them to work in the U.S. If you are a good worker, you respect the laws. Then, within a few period of time, you become a temporary resident.
Okay.
Then, after a resident, then you can move out of the park. I'm not talking slavery here.
No, I get
But
you.
we're
I'm
talking.
I'm not even
people.
implying.
You're gonna come to the U.S. You're gonna do something for production in the U.S.
Here's what I see.
Okay.
You wanna see
How
what
will
I-
you fix it?
No. I have a bigger vision. Well, how would I fix it?
Yeah.
Why I'm not running for office? Because I'm way too radical.
You would kick them back up.
I would use that trolley system that's outdated
To-
and
to
worthless,
drop it.
and I would take them to Sweetwater. And I would take them to Hialeah. And then I'd create the
That's
total
right.
chaos that we would have. And then you know what, Mayor?
I mentioned
let's
those two
go.
cities
Correct.
to you.
But then
because
we would
in Doral,
sit,
they cannot live.
we would sit in Bermudez's office at the time and say, "Sir, where do you want to put these people?
Yeah, that's
You want to dump them in
North River Drive?
You pick.
Do you know that downtown Miami has the problem you're talking about?
100%? I know. And they're
in
broke.
Bayfront Park.
And
in
they're
Bayfront
broke.
Park.
Where I'm going, you know where this is
Homeless.
going to end up with?
What?
You know where this ends up in? Sadly, that wonderful park that we have that they refuse to build on.
Maybe that's why they don't
Mark
build
my
it.
words, within 3 years, if they don't get that building up, which they won't, because it's, again, over budget, and hopefully we get an audit,
Yeah.
you're going to see Tent City Doral.
Not in that park.
In that place.
Not if I live there. Not if I'm not in the office.
Then
But
we-
I know there is a problem. I
And we
know.
better get going and get this election going and turning the right way, because that's headed our way quicker than you can see.
When are you going to come back? You
Whenever-
can't take
whenever
those
you
trips.
want.
You took a long trip this time.
No, it's I like college football.
I
What
love
do I'm going to tell you?
I love talking to you because you are a
We can do this anytime, and hopefully
you are an involved
hopefully you give me
resident.
my show. Hopefully.
Okay. Well,
Hopefully.
you pick on. If it's in English or in Spanish, Portuguese, I don't care.
All right.
I have one issue.
Yes.
We want to make.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have time to make a debate between the seats, but we have an idea. And this is a call out to every single
would-
candidate.
You're never going to get debated. Why would you get debated?
Why
Come
not?
on, man.
Why not?
Because these people don't.
There is
debate.
one guy that is a respectful and very well
people
known.
aren't gonna debate.
But wait, listen.
Why would you debate somebody's going to kick my rear end? Why would I do that? Think about
Why?
it. Why would I debate if I'm going to lose that debate? Why would I do it?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because as a citizen, as a politician,
Right.
or as an inspired person to run for office, you owe it to the residents
You
of the
do,
city.
but that's not what we're talking about. Why politically?
I'll
why
debate
would-
anybody
Of course
whenever.
you will.
There's 13 candidates in this city, in this ballot.
Of course.
Okay, everyone from the mayor's seat sitting in front of here with a neutral newscaster like Carlos Nunez and Natalia Cruz. Same questions from every single resident that will call in, and will ask them a question, one after the other one.
You really think?
Why cannot happen?
I'll tell you why it can't happen. Because it's suicide for certain politicians. You're going to put Christy Fraga.
Yeah.
You're going to put here Pete Cabrera, and you're going to put
Christy
here Clau-
Fraga accepted the
You're
ballot.
gonna, of course, she's going to accept it.
And Pete Cabrera, yes.
Of course, but you need this seat, which is Claudia Mariaca. She won't accept.
She won't sit there.
She won't.
We will raffle the seat because that's a major seat.
But the problem
That's the main
is-
seat of a program.
So how can you have a debate when the third? Well, if you want these two, that would be very interesting, and they're both very again.
Everybody, they'll do it.
They'll.
Okay. Do you think my opponent will come?
No, absolutely not. She'd be stupid to come. If I'm advising these people, I don't come.
Seat one, 4 people. Four
Four
seats.
people. That would be a comedy show.
Really?
But
No. We have to do it in an orderly
no, but that'll be a
fashion.
comedy show. but the seat is that the at-large seat?
This
You-
is the Susana Castillo.
Yeah, you're not
Frank
gonna get- they're
Gámez,
not gonna come.
Carlos Pereira
They're
and
not
Rafael
gonna come. They
Piñero.
won't come. Carlos Pereira will come just for the show.
Rafael
He'll
Piñero
come,
will come.
but again, that's not.
Francisco Gámez will come.
I
So
don't know
Susie
about
will Castillo. So you're telling me the only candidates that will not show up are the slate from Bermudez.
Bingo. Because doesn't make any sense to have him.
It is
show.
6:04. I went over 4 minutes in my show, but this guy really
No
pumps me
reason to
up.
debate. No
I
reason
love
to
it.
debate.
There should be a debate.
I agree.
They owe it to the residents.
agree.
They owe it to the people that are going to elect it. They do this as a part of democracy. Don't you agree?
I agree. But
Okay.
Again,
Why? Why you hide? Why are you afraid of? You choose the questions if you want.
Because you can only see. I can tell you why they think this way. If you give me another 3 minutes,
3 minutes and counting.
if
And remember,
Why would
I'm going to get killed by the sponsors.
that's fine, they'll get more money out of you. Why would if you have a guaranteed? And I tell you this right now, if you have a guaranteed 4,000 votes.
Yeah. No, it's
You're not-
7,000.
Hold on a second. But let's the Bermudas. Let's say
Okay.
Bermudas carries 4,000. Just numbers. It could be 20. It's immaterial. You have a guaranteed X amount of
1,000.
votes.
Okay.
You cannot get any more than those Bermudas votes. You can't because you're going to be carried. You've been carried your entire career right now has been carried by those votes. Those same votes have been
Yeah.
carrying you for 3 elections.
Yeah.
You can only go down from there.
Yeah.
If you make a fool of yourself in a debate. Why would anyone allow you to go in a debate? If you're a good
I'll
campaign
be back.
manager, you do not allow that candidate to debate.
Let me
You
tell
just
you.
don't.
Well, then
It's
you're
bad politics.
then you're a bad candidate. If you don't take a debate, you're a
That
bad
is
candidate.
correct. Why do you think we had
You
the
have to
issue
be
with
in a
Bermudas
debate.
in the last election? He was
Okay?
absolutely right.
We can
I'll
do
debate
it.
you anytime.
They don't have to come here. We can do it remotely in a hotel.
but Bermuda's-
the radio will pay for it.
Correct, but Bermudas was correct in the last election. I'll debate you in English.
Okay, let's do it.
You don't,
But it will be obviously in English. I speak English very well. Good
I get
looking.
it, but you understand what I'm saying? He knows he weren't going to debate him.
Oh, they don't say anymore. I don't speak English because we
course
have
not.
done quite a lot of
commercials.
commercial. And a lot
And this
of
show's
stuff.
pretty good in English, though. Huh?
I'm
Don't you
telling you,
like
I
it?
love it. I love it. I have to do this more often. Well, at least once a week. Come on.
Fine. Once
Are
a
you
week.
here once a week
I
at
could
least?
be here Wednesdays every
Every Wednesday?
Wednesday.
What do you think, guys? If you want to hear Pablo
Or
Carreño,
Thursday, if you prefer. Those are the best
No,
days.
Thursdays is full. Fridays, don't even talk about it.
No, it's Fridays
Sometimes
when I fly out. Friday. I fly
Friday.
out.
How's your son?
He's doing well.
He's
fighting for the conference championship.
He
right
is
now.
a liner back.
They're fighting well. They're
he's
doing
big.
good. Yeah, it's a good season right now. So
Well,
hopefully, knock on wood, we get to keep going. And I'm not even here for Thanksgiving if things go well. It's playoff week.
That's
Hopefully.
right. The 20th. You better be back by the
Hopefully,
election.
I'll be here.
You
I
have to
fly
be
back
sitting-
November 7th,
Señores, you heard it.
early in the morning, because I have
Ladies-
to vote. Game day voting November 8th. I'll be at the poll at 7:00.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pablo Carreño.
Thank you.
A Otro Nivel con Juan Carlos Esquivel. Thank you for joining us. This has been a heck of a program. And I hope it goes very vital. I'm not trying to controverse anybody. I'm only giving a point of view. If you don't agree, please write to me. jcesquivel@doralvoice.com. I will be happy to answer any concerns you have. I'm sure you do. And you can use my email so that you can send it to Pablo. This has been a great show, my friend.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you for coming.
Do it
This
again
is your
soon.
house. We will do it next Wednesday.
week.
Probably. No, you'll be out. No.
No, I'll be here.
Oh,
I'll be here.
we'll
We
be
can do it
doing-
Wednesday.
Let's see. It's moving. The rumors and things that are walking around, we have to keep up to date. Thank you very much. Take it.
Construir una ciudad a otro nivel requiere de la suma de todos. Juan Carlos Esquivel, un líder con visión de futuro que garantiza el desarrollo de proyectos que le darán progreso y bienestar a la ciudad de Doral. Soluciones para el tráfico, la vivienda, seguridad y un gobierno eficiente. Para la silla 4 del Consejo de Doral, vota por Juan Carlos Esquivel, número 112, para un Doral a otro nivel.
Anuncio político pagado y aprobado por la campaña de Juan Carlos Esquivel para el Consejo.
Yo me especializo en todo tipo de lesiones personales. En mi oficina nosotros representamos a las personas que han sido lesionadas por la negligencia de otro. Es decir, accidente de carro, resbalón y caída, un asalto en un parqueo, todo tipo de lesión. En nuestra oficina nosotros nos tomamos el tiempo para entender la necesidad de la persona que está llamando. Entendemos que estás llamando en un momento difícil en tu vida, donde estás lesionado. Nosotros nos comunicamos con el cliente, lo ayudamos a buscar atención médica y le explicamos y lo educamos en todo lo que es la parte legal del caso. Es importante contratar a un abogado de confianza, a alguien que entienda sus problemas específicos y personalmente.
¿Eres colombiano y vives en los Estados Unidos? Escucha esto. Majority, la banca móvil todo en uno para latinos, te regala $20 cuando envías dinero a Colombia. Con la app de Majority, disfrutas de beneficios como llamar a Colombia gratis, a teléfono fijo o celular, enviar dinero y recarga sin comisión. Y obtienes una tarjeta de débito Visa con descuentos y cashbacks en tiendas locales. Tómale una foto al código en pantalla y descarga la aplicación o visita el stand de Majority en el Dolphin Mall de Miami, al lado de Old Navy. Ahorra, envía, habla con la app de Majority, la banca móvil para latinos.
Si hay algo que nos caracteriza en Doral es la buena comida y los grandes eventos. Por eso, impacta a tus invitados con Brunella Catering, donde encontrarás un menú variado y a muy buen precio. No te vas a equivocar. Llama a Brunella Catering al 786-329-2913 o búscalos en Instagram bajo @Brunella Catering. Ah, déjales dicho que te recomendaron de Doral Voice Community Radio.